Listen to me. I'm about to tell you a story about a man who lost 10 years of his life and never laid a hand on anybody. No robbery, no shootout, no street beef. This one came from jealousy. The kind of jealousy that can't stand watching somebody else rise. This happened in Atlanta, Georgia. The man's name was Marcus. Marcus had been in a relationship with a woman named Tracy for 6 years. 6 years is long enough to build a whole life together. They had a baby boy named Anthony, but the relationship didn't last. Too much arguing, too much tension, too much bitterness. Eventually, they separated. Marcus moved out and kept doing what he was supposed to do. He worked every day. He took care of his son. He handled his responsibilities. But Marcus had bigger plans than just punching a clock. He had aspirations to start his own business. Landscaping. The idea had been sitting in his mind for a while. He talked about it when he and Tracy were still together. The truck, the equipment, the routes, the customers, the vision. But Tracy never really supported it. She spoke down on it, belittled it, laughed at the idea like it was never going anywhere. Her routine was simple. Eat, sleep, have sex, hang around the local bars, repeat. Marcus wanted more out of life than that. He wanted to build something. So after the breakup, he kept grinding at his regular job while holding that vision in the back of his mind. Then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. Marcus met a woman named Crystal. They met inside a Starbucks. Nothing dramatic, just two strangers waiting for coffee. A little conversation started while they were standing near the counter. A few minutes later, they were sitting down talking like they had known each other for years. Marcus mentioned the landscaping idea during the conversation. Crystal leaned forward with real interest. She started asking questions. How many lawns could he cut in a day? What equipment he would need? What neighborhoods he planned to service? The kind of questions that showed she was actually thinking about it. From Marcus's perspective, Crystal was everything Tracy wasn't. Crystal was prettier than Tracy, more fit than Tracy, more established, more intelligent, more supportive, more peaceful. She carried herself with calm confidence, the kind of woman who adds to a man's life instead of draining it. They started dating, and Marcus felt the difference immediately. Crystal wasn't loud. She wasn't argumentative. She didn't tear him down. She listened. She supported. She believed in what he was trying to build. They started enjoying life together. They went hiking, played pool, went bowling, went jet skiing. Marcus started feeling like himself again. The more time they spent together, the more Crystal pushed him toward the business idea he kept talking about. One night she told him plainly, "If you're serious about landscaping, stop talking about it and let's build it." Crystal helped Marcus organize everything. She walked him through registering his LLC, showed him how to handle the paperwork, helped him structure everything the right way. Once the foundation was set, Marcus started buying equipment. First a mower, then a trimmer, then a blower. Little by little, the business started taking shape. When Crystal told him she was pregnant, Marcus felt even more motivated. That's when he officially named the company M&M Landscaping. Marcus and Marcus Jr. That was the vision in his mind, a father and his son building something together. And that was right around the time Tracy's jealousy really started to grow. Because the man she once spoke down on, once belittled, once laughed at his idea of starting his own business, was now a business owner. People around town started noticing, yards being cut, customers calling, word spreading. The idea she once laughed at was now becoming real. Jealousy doesn't sit quietly when it grows like that. One afternoon, Tracy called Marcus's mother, Anne. Her voice sounded calm, too calm. "I'm going to get your son locked up. Watch." Anne paused. "Tracy, Marcus isn't bothering you. He's married now. He's taking care of his son." The response came back cold. "You'll see." Then the line went dead. Anne didn't like the feeling in her gut, so she called Marcus. "Baby, I just spoke to Tracy." Marcus sighed. "What does she want now?" She said she's going to get you locked up. Marcus laughed it off. For what? I'm home with my wife. Anne still didn't like the feeling in her gut. Just be careful around that girl, she told him. I don't trust her. Marcus didn't think much of it, but Tracy had already set something in motion. A few nights later, she disappeared for hours. What she did during that time would cost Marcus 10 years of his life. She paid someone to beat her up. Real punches, real bruises, a swollen eye, marks on her arms. When it was finished, she had exactly what she needed: evidence. Then she called the police. When officers arrived, they saw the injuries immediately. A shaken woman, visible damage, and a story already prepared. She claimed Marcus showed up angry, said an argument turned violent, said she feared for her life. The injuries matched the story. Marcus became the suspect before he even knew what was happening. Police came for him. Marcus was at home with Crystal when they arrived, confused, shocked, but the situation already looked bad. Eventually, Marcus took a deal. 10 years. 10 years gone. Crystal never left. She believed him. While Marcus sat behind prison walls, Crystal moved forward with her life and their child. She had a promising career as a registered nurse. Her income was strong. Her discipline was strong. She decided to build the life Marcus would return to. Crystal bought a house for the three of them. In the backyard, she had a large shed built. Then she made another move. Every piece of landscaping equipment Marcus owned before prison was sold. She used that money, added her own, and upgraded everything. New mowers, new trimmers, new blowers, all lawn mowing equipment, everything needed to run a full landscaping operation. She didn't just prepare equipment for Marcus. She bought additional tools and machines for future employees too. Everything organized and stored inside that shed. Marcus watched his younger son grow the only way he could, through photographs, through visits, through phone calls, hearing about school, hearing about graduations, trying to remain a father from a prison phone. 9 months before his release date, something unexpected happened. His oldest son, Anthony, decided to come see him. Anthony had grown up hearing his mother's version of the story. According to Tracy, Marcus beat her. That was why he went to prison. But over time, other voices started reaching Anthony. People saying something didn't sound right. People suggesting his father might actually be innocent. Anthony didn't know what to believe, so he decided to see for himself. He walked into the visiting room and sat across from his father. Marcus told him everything, the full truth, how the situation unfolded, how he never laid a hand on Tracy. Anthony listened quietly, then tears started rolling down his face. He stood up and hugged his father. "I love you, Dad," he said. "I can't wait until you come home." That visit stayed on Marcus's mind. When he finally walked out of prison months later, his entire family was waiting outside. Crystal, their young son, Marcus Jr., Anthony, and his mother, Anne. 10 years had passed. Marcus stepped through the gates and hugged them all. Crystal drove him home. When they reached the house, she walked him to the backyard. Inside sat a full landscaping operation. Brand new equipment, top of the line, everything ready to go. Marcus stood there staring. His business was waiting for him. Crystal reached into her pocket and handed him a small pouch. Marcus opened it. Inside was $30,000 in cash, startup money, operating money, fuel for the business. Crystal looked at him and said, "Go build it." During those 10 years, Marcus had also used his time wisely. He studied, stayed disciplined, earned his master's degree while incarcerated. Once he returned home, he went straight to work. But one thing changed. After that final visit with Anthony, Marcus made a decision. The company would no longer be M&M Landscaping. He updated the LLC. The new name became Marcus and Sons Landscaping. Because now both of his sons were part of the vision. Anthony joined him in the business, learning the trade, working side by side with his father. Young Marcus Jr. followed them around, watching and learning. The family Marcus thought he had lost was now building something together. At one point, Anthony confronted his mother. "You got my father locked up because he didn't want to be with you," he told her. "That's evil. 10 years of his life, 10 years out of mine." Anthony walked away from her that day. Sometimes the people who try to destroy someone's life don't realize something. Truth has a way of surviving. Marcus lost 10 years, but he came back with his family, his business, and a life that kept moving forward. Keep your eyes open. Don't get lined up.
Low key, positive vibes only. Don't sleep, the 9 is always on me. Smiles and faces, frowns is flagrant. Wild behavior, follow swine bacon.